everyone, back tuning into this evening's video doing the third Christmas update. Done 2 updates so far. I think the first one was on Sunday and then the second one Tuesday. So this is the third look at the Christmas period with the CFS 9-monthly forecast, CFS V2 model 9-month forecast on website MeteoSeal, and you can find a link to MeteoSeal on the links page. Now, the last 2 updates were fairly cold, really, fairly cold updates, particularly the first one, but also there were some cold conditions in the second one as well. So we had a little bit of a trend going with those first 2. We'll see what model is showing for Christmas on tonight's update. The idea behind this, of course, you can't ping down the exact weather so far in advance. So the idea is that we just are monitoring this model for trends, the overall trend of the pattern. Around the Christmas period, we're going to start around the 15th of December, so I usually start around the middle part of the month and go off into the start of January so that we get a broad idea over these updates what the general pattern for that latter part of December is. But as I say, you can't really pin down just one day's weather. You can't at all pin down one day's weather so far in advance with a computer model. Anyway, I'll look at the detail on it in a second, but before I get on with that, just quick to say about the ads. There's links to articles on the page at Gazmo. Please have a browse widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in, and thanks so much for doing that. There's also video ads on most pages which open out within the content when you watch them. They'll close back up again. It's all helping to pay for the website. The Christmas shop is open, so just underneath this video there's a button that says Christmas shop. Click that, it'll take you through to the Christmas shop, and then from there there's either a search widget where you can look for any Christmas present that you want to buy, or you alternatively can just click through the Amazon banners and go directly to Amazon. And by doing that, by going from Gazmo to Amazon to do your Christmas shopping, we get a revenue fee on the things that you buy. So you don't have to do anything differently except for click through the Amazon banners and then just do your shopping at Amazon as normal. And well, happy shopping if that is what you want to do. So, just coming back to this before I quickly run through the charts. It's the 9-monthly forecast model from the CFS. It was generated midday yesterday. There's a 24-hour delay on the charts coming through to MeteoSeal. So, this was generated midday on the 4th of November. Right, let's have a look at the charts. So we're starting off on the 15th of December. We've got high pressure here across many parts of Europe and low pressure in the Atlantic, bringing up this mild southwesterly wind. Now, I have to say, before it gets to this point, I won't show the charts, but before it gets to this point, it actually has quite a significant cold snap through the middle and latter stages of November. But after that, it reverts back to a more Atlantic-driven and milder pattern again. So that's where we're starting off on the 15th of December with a mild southwesterly flow and pretty Atlantic-driven as well. As we run through the 16th into the 17th, we've got a significant polar vortex developing to the northwest of the country. Here we are on the 18th of December with the purples turning up around Greenland. When you start seeing those turning up, it means that you're probably going to be in for a bit of an Atlantic onslaught. The polar vortex is getting going around Greenland, bringing in severe gales to the north and west on the 18th of December. But it's mild because we've got low pressure to the north and high pressure to the south, so the flow of the air is coming in off the Atlantic Ocean. And that takes us through to the 19th of December as well, very much in an Atlantic westerly driven pattern. Notice that the isobars, the white lines, are going from Canada over here to Russia somewhere over here. So that's a very westerly Atlantic driven run up to Christmas. We run through the 19th into the 20th and we keep it very unsettled. More areas of low pressure running through the country, going from the 22nd into the 23rd. So we're keeping it mild, keeping it wet, keeping it windy as we run up to Christmas. So this is a change on the past 2 updates. The past 2 updates showed colder conditions for the run up to Christmas and drier conditions as well. Not this one. This is a full frontal Atlantic onslaught, really. And this area of low pressure here on the 23rd of December looks very significant in the Atlantic Ocean. This could well give us a stormy Christmas. That's what the model is indicating here. It comes through Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Very complex area of low pressure, with a very deep area of low pressure, bringing heavy bouts of rain across the country and windy conditions as well. So this is a proper wet and windy Atlantic-driven Christmas. Temperatures will be relatively mild, although the air is becoming a little bit cooler around this complex low pressure, but it's still an Atlantic-driven pattern, and it isn't overly cold. So a real Atlantic onslaught running up to Christmas and taking us into the Christmas period. This is the chart for Christmas Day, the 25th of December at 6 o'clock in the evening. And you notice a little secondary feature running through the south, but of course you've got to discount that. The overall idea is that it's Atlantic-driven, it's wet, it's windy, it's probably becoming fairly cool as the air is going around to the west and the northwest. And we run up to Boxing Day, keeping it very unsettled. This is going into Boxing Day, and we've got a deep area of low pressure again coming in off the Atlantic. Boxing Day into the 27th, so more wet and windy conditions, gale force winds, certainly not out of the question with this one. And then we're going to carry on running through, going up towards New Year, and here we go with the charts, and it's staying Atlantic-driven, so we've gone up to the 30th of December here, and we're in a firmly in an Atlantic-driven pattern with areas of low pressure. You would look at the colours and think this is cold because you've got the blue colours, but what this is really telling us is that heights are very, very low. So it's just a case of bands of rain coming through, probably losing the stormy conditions between Christmas and New Year. We've not got much evidence of severe gales, but it's still very unsettled with bands of rain sweeping through. And going up to the start of 2016, this is New Year's Day, it stays unsettled through the country. No real change. We go up to the 4th of January as far as I'm going to go with this run. And we're still very Atlantic-driven, although we are building up a little bit of a ridge from the south and the southwest, so it is drying out a touch. But this is a change on the first two. The first two were quite cold, and a lot of dry weather was going on as well, very little in the way of storms. This one is a proper Atlantic onslaught update. We've got deep areas of low pressure in the Atlantic, throwing many bouts of rain across the country. At times, certainly a risk of gales or severe gales as well. It starts before Christmas, it goes on over Christmas, and it's still unsettled, not necessarily all that windy, but still unsettled after Christmas and into the new year. Now, if you like cold weather, I'm sure you enjoyed the first two updates, and you'll be a bit disappointed with this one. All we can say is that it's a change on the first two, so maybe this is just a one-off. We'll have to wait and see and do more updates. Maybe this is the start of a trend towards an Atlantic-driven pattern for the Christmas period. Of course, the model's going to be playing around with various ideas, and as I say, what we've got to do is aggregate out which scenario crops up the most, and then see if that is how we eventually come off. So we'll do the next update on Sunday. Will that one revert back to a colder situation, or will it actually be another Atlantic onslaught? We'll find out on Sunday evening. So that's all for now, and thanks for watching.